How would you feel if you could choose your next boss? Well, you actually can. In front of you, you have two resumes for the top position of one of the biggest, most complex organizations in the world. Which one will you choose? This organization has struggled over the past 4 years. Costs have skyrocketed by over 30%. Global conflicts are on the rise, and security has been compromised with millions entering illegally, draining resources. It's now time to choose a leader who can turn things around.
Why is everything so damn expensive? I went to the grocery store yesterday, right? And got 3 bags of chips, some ground turkey, and some vegetables. And it was $67! What?
But this isn't just any company. We're talking about the United States in the upcoming election. In this video, we'll dive deep into the resumes of the two major candidates and ask the question, who is truly qualified to be the CEO? First-time voters, this is your chance to make an informed decision. Let's go. The two big things to look at when choosing a CEO, or the president in this case, are easy. What have they done, which is their experience, and what will they do, which is their platform. So what qualities and attributes do Fortune 500 CEOs have in common? The first is extensive leadership experience. Most Fortune 500 CEOs have held multiple senior leadership roles, such as COO, CFO, or president, before they become the CEO. They deeply understand how to manage large teams and execute business strategies. The next one is strategic thinking. CEOs must be able to think long-term and anticipate market trends, disruptions, and opportunities. They excel at crafting and executing large-scale business strategies to drive growth and innovation. Next is industry expertise. Many have significant experience within their specific industry, which allows them to understand market dynamics, competition, and customer needs. Next is a track record of result. A history of driving revenue growth, increasing profits, and improving company performance is crucial. Fortune 500 CEOs often have a proven track record of delivering results in previous roles. And the next is strong communication and leadership skills. The ability to inspire and motivate teams, communicate vision clearly, and build relationships with stakeholders, employees, investors, and the board is essential. Financial acumen. Understanding complex financial structures, budgets, and forecasts is critical for making informed decisions that affect a company's profitability and their market position. The next, they've got to be adaptable and have good crisis management skills. CEOs often steer their organizations through challenges such as economic downturns and disruptions. Many have successfully managed crisis in the past. Next, they must have a global perspective. They have the reach and global mindset with the experience of managing international operations and expanding into new markets. Visionary leadership. They must manage the present while innovating and setting long-term vision for the company's future, especially in competitive and disruptive industries. Now it's time to put your hiring manager hat on and let's look at the two resumes. Now I'm going to post these resumes so you can take a good look. And to avoid discrimination or bias, I won't show names or pictures as we review these. Okay, so now it's time to get into their resumes and really look at their experience. Remember, the two things we're looking for is what they've done, which is their experience and their results, and what they will do, which is their platform, and we'll look at that as well. So let's get started and look at these resumes. I actually had ChatGPT. I asked it to make a resume for both candidates based off their experience, and it came up with a pretty good resume format. So if you don't believe me, all this stuff is verifiable as well from different sources. So very first one, I'm going to not show you the names right now. You probably can figure it out pretty quick because when we don't have any kind of bias as far as race, sex, or gender discrimination when we're reviewing resumes for the best possible candidate, we want to look at who has the best results, who has the best experience to be the CEO and lead this organization. So let's get in here. So the very first one is summary. It's a seasoned executive with over 50 years of experience in business management, government leadership. They've served as the 45th president of the United States, overseeing significant economic growth, job creation, and regulatory reforms. Known for a results-driven approach with a focus on economic policy, national security, and international trade negotiations. So keep those things in mind as we're going through these resumes. Who's going to be the best candidate to be the leader of this country and get us out of this mess that we're in right now of high prices, inflation, world war risk, and everything else that's going on? Who's the best candidate that can turn this country around and lead us in for the next 4 years? And more importantly, how it impacts you personally. Again, sometimes we don't care about the leader if it doesn't impact us, but this will impact you. This will impact you now. It'll impact you next year, the year after that, and the year after that, and the year after that. 4 years is a long time to live with the results of one decision. And that's what we're talking about right here. It's that serious. So their experience. First one is economic growth. Oversaw the largest tax reforms in U.S. history with the Tax Cuts and Job Act of 2017. It reduced the corporate tax rate. It also reduced the taxes on us. Gave us deductions and all kind of different things. So all that happened in this tax act. It's set to expire next year. So what do you think is going to happen if the government needs more money? They're not going to let these tax cuts stay in place. Next one is job creation. Achieved record low unemployment rates, with the unemployment rate falling to 3.5% in 2019. The lowest before that was in over 50 years. Added over 6.6 million jobs during the first 3 years of presidency. Trade deals, it redone a lot of the trade deals, impacting $1.3 million and trillion dollars in annual trade, and improving conditions for American workers and business. Again, America first. Deregulation, cut out over 1,500 regulations, aiming to reduce government interference in business and stimulate economic growth. Implemented a 2 out, 1 in policy, so they couldn't just add new regulations unless they got rid of 2 to be able to get any new regulations. And that adds cost to business. That's been one of the reasons why we have inflation right now. Judicial appointments. They appointed 3 Supreme Court justices that will significantly shape the judiciary for decades. Middle East peace. They brokered the Abraham Accords, leading to historic normalization agreements between Israel and several other Arab nations, the UAE, Bahrain, Sudan, and Morocco. Military and defense increased defense spending during their term, and established the U.S. Space Force was the first new military branch in over 70 years. Criminal justice reform, signed the First Step Act into law, aimed to reform federal prison system and reduce repeat offenses, benefiting over 3,000 inmates with sentence reductions. Energy independence, and this is huge, achieved energy independence really for the first time for the United States by increasing domestic energy production, including approval of Keystone XL, Dakota Pipeline, and withdrawing from the Paris Climate Agreement to focus on U.S. energy needs. If you know anything about economics, it's about supply and demand is what causes costs to go up, or really influences cost. And right now, they reduce the supply of gasoline, prices went up. Well, if prices go up on gasoline and fuel, that means the price of everything goes up. That's why groceries are high. That's why everything is high, because everything pretty much moves in one way or the other by the use of a fossil fuel, either gas or diesel. And again, that's so huge to this next step and getting us out of where we're at right now is this energy independence. So let's keep on going down. The next one is they were chairman and president, expanded a family-owned business that started out as a regional real estate development and brand with now exceeding over $3 billion. They have looks like they have over 22,000 employees in the Trump organization. Developed and managed over 500 projects worldwide, including hotels and commercial properties. They grew the Trump brand's licensing revenue to over $200 million through partnerships across various industries. Executive producer and host of a TV series. And I didn't realize it was this long, but created and hosted a reality television show for over 14 seasons that drew over 20 million viewers per season at its peak, which created a lot more revenue for NBC during the run, and his own personal brand. And then we look at their education. Bachelor of Science in Economics, which is something that we definitely need because we are in economic trouble right now. Most of us are really feeling it and hurting it. From Wharton Business School at the University of Pennsylvania, which is one of the #1 business schools in the country. Skills, strategic negotiation, economic policy, international trade, real estate, crisis management, And then some of the awards and recognition: Times 100 Most Influential People, Ellis Island Medal of Honor, and the Horatio Auger Award. Now let's look at the other one real quick, just right here beside it. So again, so you can see a dedicated public servant with over 25 years of experience in law, governance, and advocacy. Brings a wealth of experience in leadership within government, including service as a vice president and a senator, known for a commitment to justice, social equity, and innovative policy solutions. So, what is their experience? Served as a key advisor and deputy to the president, impacting policy decisions for all Americans. Led the administration's efforts on the 1.2 trillion bipartisan infrastructure law, which was aimed at building new roads, bridges, and broadband access, which I haven't really seen any of that. Played a crucial role in diplomatic missions, engaging with leaders from over 20 countries, strengthened international relations. Again, we know what the world is like right now. U.S. Senator from 2017 to 2021, represented the state of California, and they focus on legislation. Looks like national security, healthcare, and criminal justice reform. They put some federal funds to address homelessness in California, and which we know that's still a problem right now. They're going to host the Olympics, and LA is going to host the Olympics the next time, so in 4 years, and they're trying to get rid of the homeless that are sleeping all over the place right now in LA, which they haven't ever addressed the problem. Co-sponsored over 350 bills, with only 60 passing into law. Again, the focus was on healthcare and environmental protection. And then before that, we see he was Attorney General. They had a settlement with some mortgage companies. They launched the programs to help reduce the repeat offenders again, called it Back on Track. District Attorney of San Francisco for about 7 years. There's 6 years there as the Attorney General. And then education, a Juris Doctorate at the University of California, and then Bachelor of Arts in Political Science from Howard University in Washington. Again, so their skills are legal analysis, policy development, public speaking, leadership, advocacy of civil rights. They were also one of Time 100's most influential people, the Glamour Woman of the Year, and a Thurgood Marshall Award. So there you have it. There's their resumes. When we look back and we look at what are the qualities that a CEO should have, one is extensive leadership experience. Who can we mark that off for? I think it's clear by looking at the leadership experience of not only leading a large multi-billion-dollar company with a lot of employees, but also being the president of the United States. I definitely say it's clear that we could mark off Donald Trump as having extensive leadership experience. Kamala Harris, again, she's been vice president and a senator and attorney general. They're doing a job, but is that really leadership? That's up for you to decide, but I don't think we can mark that one off. Strategic thinking, so that's looking forward and making plans in advance, and how you can fix things, and what's going to happen in the future. I think when we look at Donald Trump's resume, we can see with this deregulation, with the judicial appointments, with the military and defense, creating a new department, realizing that is going to be a need in the future with Space Force. And then this energy independence. I believe all that shows that he's definitely has, we can mark off strategic thinking for him. When you look at Kamala Harris's resume, I don't really see anything that's looking forward, right? What if you may disagree with me, leave me a comment, but I don't see anything in their record that shows where she had strategic thinking as a skill that was needed to be the district attorney or the attorney general or even a senator, by looking at what they focused on or what they did during their time in those roles. Next one is industry expertise. I mean, industry expertise is, you look at business. Trump definitely takes the edge on that with his business and CEO experience of leading a major corporation, to grow a major corporation, as well as his results while he was president. The tax reforms, the economic growth, the job creation, the deregulation, all that definitely shows the industry expertise. Now, Kamala's been, she's been in politics for a long time, since 2017. Is that extensive experience? I don't know. That's only 7 years that they've been even in politics. Before that, they were in law, which is something completely different. That's not running a company. That's something totally separate at all. So I'm gonna give Donald Trump a check mark for that. Track record of results. I think, again, what we just talked about, we can definitely mark Donald Trump off for that. He's got a lot of results, not only in his own company, but when he was president of the United States, things were better. Prices on everything have gone up from 20 to over 60% in the last 4 years. And so when Kamala talks about what she's going to do, the question you have to ask is, why haven't you done it already? What are you waiting for? Why you're going to say you're going to do that on day one, but you've been vice president, you've had Joe Biden's ear for the last 4 years, and y'all haven't done anything to address the record inflation that's impacting everybody's pocketbook every single day? So, again, track record results: Donald Trump, yes. Kamala Harris, no. Strong communication and leadership. Again, I think when we look at his Donald Trump's record, there's no doubt that he's got the leadership and strong communication to talk to Kim Jong Un and Putin of Russia, and have the president of China, where they had really good relations. I don't think the world would be where it's at right now if he was still the president, or if he gets president. That's going to be one of the first things he does, is pick up the phone and talk to those guys and get the world put back at ease and where it needs to be. Kamala, if you've ever listened to her, one of this video where she's talking about inflation, it makes no sense. She's talking in circles. In almost all of her rallies so far, she's repeating the same script.
Well, let's start with this. Prices have gone up, and families and individuals are dealing with the realities of that bread costs more, that gas costs more. And we have to understand what that means. That's about the cost of living going up. That's about having to stress and stretch limited resources. That's about a source of stress for families that is not only economic, but is on a daily level, something that is a heavy weight to carry. And we know from the history of this issue in the United States that when you see these prices go up, it has a direct impact on the quality.
Is Trump perfect? No, he says things he shouldn't say. But when you look at his track record, he's got the proven leadership. Kamala, his communication skills and leadership are questionable. You definitely don't show on her resume, except for being, in a couple of these different positions. Border's a mess, something she was in charge of. That doesn't illustrate strong leadership. Again, and you listen to her talk. She talks in circles. She has not done one public interview since she announced that she was going to be running for president. No interviews with anyone to ask her questions real time to find out what she's going to do to fix this country. Financial acumen. Again, look at the results. Look at what they've done. The results. He's got a degree in economics, as well as the job creation, the tax reform, the economic growth, the trade deals, energy independence. All that clearly shows that we can check financial acumen off for Donald Trump. And Kamala, she likes spending your money. That's pretty much what you see right there. Even this $1.2 trillion bill for infrastructure, road, bridges, and broadband. I think if we drive on the roads, we ask, where's that happening at? Where did that money go? I haven't seen any new bridges and roads being built. How about you? Global perspective. Again, she's not been exposed on the global scene. She hasn't even gone to our own border, much less dealing with foreign leaders. She avoided even being in Congress when the Israel prime minister came and talked, and she did meet with him later, but he said it wasn't a good meeting. Donald Trump has got extensive experience of not only with his Trump organization having hotels all over the world, but meeting and talking to these leaders firsthand. And then visionary leadership. What are they going to do for the future? And that leads us to the next segment, which is their platform. I did talk about this on this last video, which you can see at the end. talking about their platforms, where they stand, how it's going to affect you. So let's look at their platforms again. It's been over 2 weeks since I did that video. Let's see if anything's changed. And remember the two things we just looked at: their experience, what they've done. Now let's look at what they will do, which is their platform. On the right here, I've got Kamala Harris's website, and on the other side, I have Donald Trump's website that you can see. And let's take a look at them. So about 2 weeks ago, we looked at Kamala Harris's website, and there was no platform. There's nothing to say what she's going to do. And she's been a candidate for over a month now. So let's look at the website. You can see again, they want you to donate money. KamalaHarris.com, donate menu. So the meet Kamala, meet Tim, take action, event, store, and give us some money. So let's look at that. So let's win this. Join the campaign. Again, if you join the campaign, they're going to want you to give some money. Now that's pretty much it. Store, contact us, FAQs, work with us. So there's no platform. Again, there is no platform here at all. Even when you go to meet Kamala, vice president, fighting, blah, 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 there's nothing there. No platform. What will she do for you? How will it impact you? Who knows? There's no platform still showing on her website. Now, on the other side, look at Donald Trump's website. The very first thing, this is his front page. And again, you see, read the official Republican platform here. And then he's got 20 core promises that he's listing that how he's going to fix this country and what he's going to do right from the start. Seal the border, stop the invasion of illegal immigrants, carry out the largest deportation operation in American history, end inflation, and make America affordable again. He talks about that when we look at the Republican platform. Make America the dominant energy producer in the world. Yes, energy independence. Stop outsourcing. Create jobs in the United States. Make America a manufacturing superpower. Large tax cut for workers and no tax on tips. That impacts us firsthand. Defend our Constitution, our Bill of Rights, and fundamental freedoms. Freedom of speech, freedom of religion, the right to keep and bear arms. Prevent World War III. We talked about this chaos that's going on in the world right now in Ukraine, in the Middle East, Israel, Iran. It's crazy how on the brink of war we are. Restore peace in Europe and in the Middle East, and build a great missile defense shield over the country. End the weaponization of government against the people. It could happen. They're doing it right now. Stop the migrant crime epidemic. Demolish foreign drug cartels. Crush gang violence and lock up violent offenders. Rebuild our cities, including Washington, D.C., make them safe, clean, and beautiful again. I don't think you want to go to some major cities because crime and homelessness are rampant. Strengthen and modernize our military. Keep the U.S. dollar as the world's reserve currency. If you hadn't looked at that, you need to, because there's a big movement to move away from the dollar as the currency. Fight and protect Social Security and Medicare with no cuts. And no changes to the retirement age. You'll probably hear differently where they'll say he's trying to get rid of it, but when you look at the truth and the facts, you'll see a different story. In that electric vehicle mandate, and get rid of regulations. Cut federal funding for schools, pushing critical race theory, radical gender ideology, and inappropriate racial, sexual, or political content to our children. It's no place. Keep men out of women's sports. We saw that at the Olympics last week. Deport pro-Hamas radicals and make our college campuses safe. Secure our elections. Again, Atlanta. If you look at Georgia, has already decided that their election was screwed up in 2020, and they did not come out with the right outcome. Update our country by bringing it new record levels of success. So. Again, if you look at, there's their platform. So this is the GOP platform. It's spelled out in detail. It's only 16 pages long. But again, it's the same thing of what we just looked at. But it goes into a little bit detail, defeat inflation. How are they going to do that? All of that in there. So how are they going to defeat inflation? Unleash American energy. If you lower the price of gas and fuel, the price of everything will go down. That's one of the leading causes of the record high gas prices. And I'm going to throw some slides up as we're talking here, showing you the price of things that are just out of control in the last 4 years. Rein in wasteful federal spending, cut costly and burdensome regulations, stop illegal immigration, restore peace through strength. Yeah, so there's the plan. What are they going to do, and what have they done? Very clear on one side. The other side, there's no platform. I think it's been plenty of time for them to have their platform out yet, but they don't have it yet because there's not one. In fact, Kamala's even copied the no taxes on tips that Trump came out with a long time ago. She came out with that like it was a new idea. The press said it was a bad idea. It was going to cost a lot of money when Trump came out, but then when Kamala came out with it, everybody thought it was a great idea. So again, guys, arm yourself with facts. Arm yourself with knowledge to make a good decision. You are electing the next CEO, the President of the United States. It will impact you not 1 year, not 2 years, not 3 years, but 4 years. It's going to impact you for the next 4 years, the decision that happens in this election. You can't afford to sit on the sidelines and watch all this goes out of control. She came up with her platform or some economic policies, I guess she came out with a couple of days ago, which I'll do another video that really goes into detail on that. And all it's going to do is drive up cost. It sounds good, but it's socialism in disguise. You can't put regulations in grocery stores. They're not they have their margins are 1% to 2%. They're not making any money at all. The cost is back in the deep down. If you increase supplies, costs will come down naturally. If you put regulations in place and government controls, the costs are going to go up. And guess what? You're going to pay even more than you are right now with those regulations. When making your choice, remember it's not about personalities, race, or gender. It's about results and leadership. The president has a very clear and focused job, and you get to help pick the next one. Is it going to be a donkey from the Democrats, or is it going to be a Republican elephant? It's your choice. You get the decision. But I think when we take a look at their resumes and their results and their experience, one is clearly qualified and the other is not. And you know what happens when we have those that aren't qualified? Tear it up and get rid of it. That person would not ever be elected or chosen to lead a major corporation in the United States, much less why should they be chosen to lead this country? And that's not saying they're a bad person. They just don't have their skills, the experience, or the results to lead this country out of the problems that we're facing today. Who will benefit you more? Who aligns with what's important to you? Results and experience matter. What they do will matter. Check out this video that I did comparing the two platforms. One has a clear plan, the other does not. Your vote just isn't a right, it's a responsibility, especially if you're a first-time voter. You have the power to shape the future by choosing the candidate whose track record aligns with your vision for America. Don't let this opportunity pass you by. It's going to affect us for the next 4 years. Make your voice heard and make it count. Remember, the future of our nation is in your hands. Let's go make a difference. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the Adulting Academy.